956 is the living piñata. I thought they were joking. There's a living piñata. Hold on. Search. The Child Breaker. Okay, so this is actually Euclid class. 956 is to be kept at the appropriate center of a standard humanoid containment cell at all times to prevent incidental activation. Entrance into room is only permitted once 956 has entered a dormant state. Permission to bring a subject into room must be cleared by Site Director redacted to decrease the occurrence of SCP-956-1 as well as containing further spread. Unless for testing, individuals fulfilling SCP-956 activation requirement are not to be brought within 200 meters of SCP-956 containment area. Surveillance is to be maintained through security footage at all times. What? What? Okay. 78 instances of SCP-956-1 are kept in a neighboring room, and are to be maintained in a temperature of -4 degrees Celsius in order to prevent melting or destruction. Any use of SCP-956-1 is to be authorized by Security Clearance 3 personnel and to be carried out in a room identical to 956 containment chamber. Any excess 956-1 created by test with 956 is to be incinerated unless authorized by personnel with Security Clearance 3 or higher, as are any extraneous instances of 956. That is a big word. To be the pinata ended killed so many kids is insane. They weren't lying that they contain everything here in the Foundation. It turns children into. You're lying. There's no way. There. Please tell me you're lying. This thing doesn't. There's no way. Like Genie in a can. I don't know what's its number, but it's one that made me laugh. Being not a joke SCP-2. Is this one not a joke? Hold on. Is not. This one's not registered as a joke. You're telling me this is a legit one. I thought you were lying. I was like, oh, this is just another joke one, like the last one. There's legitimately a pinata. You know what? I got this. SCP-956 appears to be a common pinata, resembling an unknown quadruped. Tests have revealed that although superficially similar to paper mache, 956 is constructed of various amounts of glue. What is that word? Uh, won't tell me. Where was I? Sugar and unidentified fur and human tissue. 956 has also shown to be highly resistant to any sort of bludgeoning damage, with large amounts of crushing force showing no damage to its structural integrity. Through the use of gunfire as well as heat and flames have shown to be effective. By default, 956 remains in a passive state. It shows no sign of locomotion or intelligence and displays no hospitality. Oh, hostility. God, I can't read. See addendum 956-8.
SCP-956 enters its active state when a human under the age of 12 enters within 5 meters of it. Approximately 7 to 28 seconds after entering the active zone, the child becomes unable to move, holding any stance they had at the time. The victim is incapable of motion or speech, although it remains alive, and its rapidly moving eyes suggest that it retains awareness. 956 moves towards the victim and bludgeons him or her until the torso erupts. Upon breach, the victim's body discharges a large pile of unmarked candy ranging from 23 to 1,323 pieces. Instances of this candy are designated as 956 1. 956 repeats this for any other immobilized victims before returning to a docile state. So, so when it says 78 instances, means that 78 kids under the age of 12 have been in this predicament. I'm making sure I'm understanding correctly. That is all. Am I correct? Because that is really messed up. Extremely messed up, even. A victim can be removed from 956 activation range if retrieved promptly. Upon moving the victim 12 meters away from it, 956 returns to its passive state. The victim, however, shows no signs of recovering from its immobilized state and appears to remain in such a state indefinitely. Autopsies of unbroken victims show that their body had severely dehydrated, leaving them brittle. Autopsies also revealed that pieces of 956 1 had begun to grow out of the victim's organs, using the tissue as a component. The amount of 956 1 appears to be directly correlated to time spent in 956 activation radius. Why? Why? Okay. 956 one's effects vary depending upon the age of the human consuming them. Humans at the age of 12 years or older go into a seizure within 3 minutes of consumption with a 5% possibility of cardiac arrest. There is approximately 35% chance of survival for such subjects. Animals suffer similar effects regardless of age. Children under the age of 12 undergo a different effect. They first enter a similar state to the immobilized victim of 956, although they assume a standing stance with their arms resting in front of them. The subject then experiences, in sequence, rapid hair loss, a sprouting of paper mache from their skin, and a complete restructuring of bone and muscle. The process takes 9 minutes to complete. Upon completion, the victim has transformed into another instance of 956. These copies behave identically to 956. There's a 0% chance of survival for the victim. Why did somebody decide to make a Diddy style pinata? It will turn you into candy, to which said candy, if digested by more kids, makes more pinatas to then make more candy out of the victims. What is this? What am I reading? What am I reading? I will say, uh, I would love to see like what people decide to draw. Addendum 956-A. 956 has recently begun to show locomotion outside of testing. It began to wander around its containment, tracing the perimeter of the room. It did this for about an hour before staring at a spot on the wall. Review of footage shows that it's faced this wall after deactivating during previous tests. Security has confirmed that 956 is facing directly towards an elementary school. That school is blank kilometers away. Reclassification to Euclid class status requested. Reclassification to lucid granted if its effects appears to reach beyond its containment, it is to be transferred to site blank, which should keep it far enough away from potential victims. Retrieve any paralyzed victims or SCP-956-1 and administer Class A anesthetics to witnesses and family. We don't need any more of these things around. That is insane. This thing, while locked up, is still able to go. There's a there's an elementary school over there. What in the world is this? I genuinely mean it.
Ladies and gentlemen, editing wheel here. I didn't do an actual outro because that's from a live stream that you can find right here, or the top thing way up here somewhere. Right here in this corner. Hopefully, I'm in the right area. If not, on the other side. In case you are wondering, this was actually my very first time on the wiki. It was a very fun trip of imagination. Tell me, how do y'all like me actually reading the SCPs compared to, reacting to somebody else going over these SCP entries? While on top of this, I do hope everybody's having a good day. Before I go, I do want to say one little thing. To anybody that has no idea, we have a website. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. You look down below in the link, you will be able to go over to the website. You'll be able to see the live subscriber count, our channel goal, future merch updates, some organizations that I'm planning on doing a charity live stream to raise money for, different games that I've played, the different reaction playlists right here, my group YouTube channel, and all the way up here, we have a fan art section where you can actually submit your own fan art. That'll take you to a Google form that you just simply put your image in, give your name, and I will upload your image and also give you the credit. We have some amazing artwork by Bruguy1999, Trixican, and Wild Wolf 130. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's video. Hopefully y'all are interested in the artworks that y'all can make on the website, and I hope to see y'all in a live stream or possibly on another video. Also, while I still have y'all here, please do me three little favors. Hit subscribe, hit like, and leave me a comment down below. And right here is a playlist that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Right here is where you can hit subscribe using my little face. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye!